there's nothing boring about this show. And here's one thing kids love to do: chew bubble gum and blow bubbles till they pop all over your face. That is something our first guest knows a thing or two about. Over 4 decades and 1 billion pouches later, Big League Chew remains a classic among kids and, let's be honest, adults too. It can be found in Cooperstown Hall of Fame bubblegum. And Big League Chew inventor Rob Nelson has stopped by to talk bubbles, blow bubbles. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, okay, you invented Big League Chew, which is awesome. Like, I've been chewing this gum for years, and when I heard you were coming on the show, I was like, no way. But I want to talk history for a second. You were a baseball pitcher in college, then with the Portland Mavericks, isn't that right?
That's right. I went from Cornell to overseas. I played ball in South Africa. My dad had sent me some sports clippings that anybody could try out for the Portland Mavericks. It was an independent team, and I went from Cape Town to New York to Oregon. I thought I'd be here for 3 months, and it's still 45 years later.
And you stayed in the PNW.
I did.
Wow, what a great story and how exciting. So I also understand that you really admired baseball great Nellie Fox, but you didn't love one of his favorite pastimes, which was chewing tobacco.
See, I didn't even know that Nellie Fox was chewing tobacco. I just knew he had a big wad of something in his cheek. And as a Nelson, my brothers and I were always called Nellie, and that's where the affinity came from.
I
used his thick handle bat, and I also I stuffed my mouth with bubblegum when I was 11 years old.
Interesting. So when you found out it was tobacco and shredded tobacco, now we've got shredded chew, is that how the idea came about?
Well, I wanted to come up with a fun substitute that wouldn't make you ill.
Yeah.
And because I already chewed a lot of bubble gum, I figured, well, that wouldn't be a bad way to go. It's a preposterous story. The bat boy on the team is currently writer-director Todd Field in Hollywood. He wrote the film Tar, was up for Best Picture, but when he was a 13-year-old bat boy, he used to cut up strips of licorice and stick them in pouches. And the first time I saw him do it, I said, Todd, what are you doing? You're 13 years old. And he said, relax, Rob, it's just licorice. And we had a discussion about it. I said, you know, kids don't play ball and chew licorice.
Yeah.
I said, I bet they do well with bubblegum.
Yeah.
And that was the genesis of the whole thing. A bat boy and a part-time journeyman pitcher concocted, well, let's face it, a really big idea.
Yes, and this is such a fun thing. So I have to say, you know, even my kids now, when we bring this to the baseball games, everyone loves it. It makes it such a big difference. How did you start making this though? Like how did the process of manufacturing, did you start cutting up pieces of bubblegum?
Well, not exactly. I read an article in People magazine. I didn't know how to make shredded gum. There was a small company in Arlington, Texas. I bought a kit of how to make your own bubblegum. I bought root beer extract and maple extract, and I made brown shreds of bubblegum in Todd Field's kitchen. Todd's mom was named Candy, and we thought if we could produce something out of Candy Field's kitchen, we might be onto something. And that's why I made the first batch.
No
I had a
kidding.
teammate, former big leaguer Jim Bouton, who was a former Yankee World Series hero. He loved the idea. And he's the one who, he was the dreamer with a deadline.
Yeah.
Jim is the guy who made it happen. He went literally door to door, found a small division of Wrigley and said, here's an idea. Teammate of mine came up with it. He calls it Big League Chew. What do you think? They gave us a 3-year deal. They said this would be a cute novelty. And that was 1980. So here we are more than 40 years later, and last month we sold our billionth bag of gum.
Your billionth bag of gum.
A billion bags.
So how did you go from that? So tell me about when you started the manufacturing process, because I think that's fascinating. And I think we have some pictures to show you too. I mean, look at that. That's how it's made.
Yep, that's the stuff. It's made by Ford Gum in Buffalo, New York. And being a transplanted New Yorker, I was delighted to find that there was a company still making gum in the U.S. And when Mars bought out Wrigley, I needed a smaller company to work with. Ford Gum has absolutely hit it out of the ballpark. It's just been fabulous. But in terms of the formula and stuff like that, I'm not like Mr. Wonka. I had a teaching degree, and I didn't know any of that stuff. I relied on the kindness of strangers, and they came up with a magic formula. There's a fellow named Ron Ream who figured out how to make the shreds that wouldn't stick together.
Yeah.
So Mr. Ream is in the Mount Rushmore of Big League Chew. Without his genius, we wouldn't be here today.
It's so great. I'm so glad to hear stories like that. A positive business together, people working for one common goal. I have to say, I bet that factory smells delicious inside.
It's phenomenal. I feel like I'm 11 years old every time I walk there. It's Akron, New York. It's a small town outside of Buffalo. They could have filmed the movie It's a Wonderful Life there. It's just such a great slice of Americana.
My
It's
family's
really
from
great.
Buffalo, so I think
Is
maybe
that
I'll
right?
go visit Akron next time. All right, so you've sold more than 1 billion pouches. I want you to show me, we've got a couple of pictures of people blowing bubbles. How does this resonate? Have you found it resonates with the people?
It makes me happy that the brand for, like, if you're 40 and older, it's a nostalgic brand. But
Yeah.
if you're 11 years old, it's still cool. It's still very hip. And I love to see kids. I mean, that's in Cooperstown. I get to be a judge in every May at a bubble blowing contest. And it's just a delight. I love going into Cooperstown and seeing the kids and seeing their parents say, hey, there's the gum guy. It's, you know, I wanted my arm to be in the Hall of Fame. My two brothers, Ed and Harry, say, you know, to have your gum in the hall is not bad. You take what you can, Rob,
Yeah.
and that's what I've done.
I love it. I can't wait to see. All right, well, I want to give it a try. So can we please maybe blow some bubbles?
That'd be my pleasure.
All right, let's go, guys. Okay, we're having Carla Marie and Anthony join us for this. Now, I asked for a few tips, and you said get the gum started, which I did not get it started.
I've
So
been warming up for like 15 minutes.
I know. So I gotta get caught up here. By the way, grape is my favorite Big League Chew of all. What's your favorite?
Grape is really good. I'm on the original right now. So, and we just found out that apparently eight shreds is a serving, but I put like at least 5 servings in my mouth. So.
100%, because I saw that you had a huge wad of it, and I figured that was the secret. All right.
All right, if I
You
can
go
blow a
first.
bigger bubble than you, that'll be my life's accomplishment.
All right. Let's see what you got, Carla.
Uh-oh. Oh!
Oh, gotta go slow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Anthony.
Okay.
Okay, right here.
There you go. That was terrible. Hold on.
Wow. Okay, I'll give you another
more.
try, Carla
Okay.
Marie.
It's hard to do on the spot.
Yeah. I was practicing before.
Oh,
See? Oh.
Where's yours?
All right, I'm coming. Here we
Here
go.
we go.
I think I need more.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Hold on. I don't think it's ready.
It's the pushing the tongue through part that makes it feel real awkward.
No question. But, you know, the bubble gum's better when it comes from a shredder. You know, that's our
100%.
mantra. So,
I didn't get it started enough.
There is no, this is like as big as bubbles come with Big League Chew.
All right, one more.
100%.
All right, one more time. Yeah? Okay, good job.
Better,
All right.
better.
All
I
right.
did a bigger one before.
All right, do it more. Let me see you do more.
it's not easy to talk and chew gum at the same time. Come on.
Rob, what's
Oh,
the
I'm getting
secret?
so mad all
What's the
day.
secret?
Be the bubble.
Be the bubble. I'll remember that.
No, I couldn't do
That
it.
was terrible. All right.
I'm gonna stay here all day.
Thank you to Carla Marie and Anthony from the Morning Show podcast, who is going to be sticking around to play another game with us. Thank you to you, my friend. It was fascinating
so good.
talking to you.